Someone pushed the button for me.
Someone pushed the button for you?
Yeah.
Because last month someone forgot to start.
No. Last time somebody pushed the wrong button.
The wrong button.
Yeah, she
Okay.
take a picture for you.
Yeah. All right. So, National Survey on Why People Take Dietary Supplements, 2007. Back pain, neck pain, joint pain, arthritis, mental anxiety, high cholesterol, colds, other musculoskeletal problems, severe headaches, insomnia, and so forth. So those are the common reasons for going to dietary supplements. And as far as 2007, what do people buy the most? Fish oil pills, glucosamine, echinacea, flaxseed oil, ginseng, combination herb pills, ginkgo biloba, chondroitin, garlic supplements, and coenzyme Q10. So these are the ones that I'm going to comment on because I could go on and on and on, but don't have time. So let me give you some scientific principles for choosing or not choosing a specific dietary supplement. So again, I re-emphasize the philosophy, if you may. To tonify with drugs is not as good as with food. In this case, drugs maybe we can generalize to pills, okay? 药补不如食补. Would you rather look like that or like that? Well, I don't want to look like that either. So sorry for those of you who are vegetarians. But I certainly don't want to look like this. So I'm going to give you a series of, unfortunately, mostly bad news on popular dietary supplements. First of all, immune boosters. Chinese black mushrooms. Donggu, okay. Without a doubt, they contain chemicals that definitely boost the immune system, okay. So I'm not saying take Donggu pills. I said eat Donggu would be good, okay. Echinacea, okay, was high on the list, taken by Americans back in 2007. It was supposedly used by Native Americans. Politically, anything to do with Native Americans are greatly promoted by the federal government. There's special funds to do that. So all of a sudden, people start to take a lot of echinacea because it supposedly would boost the immune system. And even a few years back, you go have jamba juice, okay, for an extra 50 cents, they give you immune booster powder. That's echinacea, okay. A top-selling dietary supplement in the United States until a recent NCAM-funded study. NCAM stands for the National Center for Complementary and Alternative Medicine, with which I am related, associated with. So, there was a top-selling supplement until the publication of this study that shows that echinacea has marginal effects at best for treating cold and flus in a randomized controlled trial funded by NCAM, the federal government. Sales dropped 50% after this study. Jamba juice, no longer offers that. Okay. So that's echinacea. Anti-cancer, certainly a lot of research going into that. 灵芝, okay, without a doubt, has special chemicals shown to have cancer activity in various studies, mostly in test tubes and cell cultures. Interestingly, even though it's a type of mushrooms, black mushrooms have higher activity in boosting the immune system than lingzi. So lingzi is not for general boosting of the immune system, it actually has more specialized use in for treatment of cancer. Now, lingzi, as you know, comes in many forms and a wide range of price. It's a wide range of effectiveness of lingzi commercially available. It appears now that a fermentation step ahead of the extraction step will make the extraction step a lot more effective. So certain lingzi from like Taiwan now is produced by incorporating a fermentation step, and it's more expensive, therefore more of the active chemicals and perhaps more efficacious in that respect. Ginkgo biloba. This is a minor American tragedy. Okay. It's one of the. It was actually #1 selling dietary supplement in the United States a while ago, until a recent NCAM-funded study showed marginal effects at best for Alzheimer's patients in terms of improving memory. Sales dropped 50% after the study. So what's the story here? The story is we Chinese people eat baibo all the time. It's one of my favorite dessert when going to Longcheng, okay. 起酥杏仁茶里面 has baibo. I like the taste, and for hundreds, if not thousands of years, Chinese people eat the nuts of the ginkgo tree, okay. We Chinese people don't eat the leaves because we know that it has poisonous chemicals in there. So the leaves are not really used in Chinese medicine. Well, the Germans, okay, somehow, they found that it's easier to get the leaves than the nuts. So they found a way to extract the leaves, extract the poison material away. And then they grind up the leaves and sell it as ginkgo biloba. Okay? And somehow they say it would boost your memory. Wow, who couldn't use that? Okay? So, because of national use was in the hundreds of millions of dollars, the federal government, in the form of NCAM, funded a randomized controlled trial, on ginkgo biloba leaves extracted by the Germans. Okay, spent $15 million on that trial, and found that it has no noticeable effect on memory. Well, they tested on mild Alzheimer's patients. Okay, no effect. Okay, and in fact, the authority who led that trial was the dean of the medical school of University of Virginia, and he used to sit next to me on the National Advisory Council, and I said, hey, you're missing the point. You tested the leaves, not the nuts. So who said that the leaves are good? And he said, well, the Germans said. I said, Germans, what do they go by? He said, the Germans says the Chinese said that. I said, well, I never said the leaves. So the Americans, spent hundreds of millions of dollars eating the leaves, okay, and now $50 million later, so the leaves are no use. We still don't know whether the nuts are any good. But because of the bad publicity, I don't think any companies are going to deal with the name ginkgo biloba anymore. Glucosamine chondroitin. Now, these are the building blocks of joints and soft tissues in the joints, okay? So it makes perfect sense that if you take this stuff, it will be good for your joints, right? It helps support your joints. It was a top-selling dietary supplement in the United States with the claim that they build strong joints, relieve joint pain, okay? And joint pain is really one of the major problems that people go to dietary supplements. Oh, this is like a broken record now. A recent NCAM-funded study, randomized control trial, showed marginal effects at best, okay, for building strong joints. The latest sales figures are not available, but I bet you it has dropped precipitously. Now, so that's some of the most popular ones, or commonly used ones. So we're not saying that eating chicken feet, okay, at dim sum, or chicken knee, in Dietary restaurants are not good. Okay, we're just taking the pills doesn't seem to help. Now, so this is a $6 million question here. People started asking me during the break, how about vitamin pills, calcium pills, and so forth, okay? Vitamin D pills, okay? Now this is an advisory group, okay? The National Institute of Medicine concluded in 2010 that megadoses, even megadoses of vitamin D pills, no significant health benefits. Unfortunately, at that dose is known to cause kidney stones or damage, mental depression, cardiac arrhythmia, muscle weakness, pain, and fractures. So it doesn't seem to help much by taking the pills. Again, we're not saying that drinking dairy products, particularly those that are fortified, with vitamin pills nowadays, even orange juice is fortified with vitamin D. Cheeses, yogurts, breakfast food, those things might be very good, or probably very good, but taking the pills doesn't seem to do any good. Calcium pills. Okay, another authoritative committee, the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, in 2013, recommended that postmenopausal women refrain from taking supplemental calcium and vitamin D pills. After reviewing more than 135 studies, this is meta-analysis, systematic review, task force said there was little evidence that these pills prevent fractures in healthy women. Okay. In fact, some of the studies show increased risk of heart attacks and death from cardiovascular disease. Fish oil pills, okay, number one on the list. In a 9-year prospective study, okay, done in Seattle, they concluded omega-3 fatty acids have been shown to have many health benefits, okay, consistent with the belief that eating cold water fish is good. But for those people who take high dose, okay, they would have increased risk for low-grade prostate cancer, 71% increase for high-grade cancer. So don't overdo it. See, you cannot overdose on eating fish, but hot pills, you can actually overdo it. Vitamin E pills. Well, just a decade ago, the high hopes that a man could lower the risk for prostate cancer for taking these pills, antioxidant vitamin E pills. But a follow-up study shows in this 2011 study involving 35,000 people, okay, big group, offer evidence that the opposite may be true. It actually raises the risk of prostate cancer. Now, not trying to sell UCI, but we're next to UCI and Leisure World. Laguna Woods is right down the road. A very, very important prospective observational study was done on the usefulness or lack of, or thereof, of vitamin pills and calcium pills. They did something heroic, or we did something, we not meaning me personally, but UCI researchers. Back in the 1980s, they got together 14,000 residents of what was then called Isha World, now we just call them residents of Laguna Woods. So this is a rather homogeneous population of essentially, elderly white women, of white men and women, of about equivalent, economic and educational level and so forth. Okay, so they asked them to fill out very detailed surveys on what they have been eating, and they repeat this every 4 years, and they track these people for the past 32 years. Okay, and some of the questions they ask are, do you smoke? Do you have a drink? Do you exercise? Do your parents have heart disease? Your parents have cancer? All of these things. But relevant to the context here, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, calcium pills. That's part of the survey. So 32 years later, 13,000 of these people have died because you wouldn't be there unless you're at least 55 years old, right? So, and after taking into account all the risk factors like smoking, alcohol intake, lack of exercise, obesity, history of cancer, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and so forth, they actually found no difference in how long the people lived, whether or not they took these vitamin pills or calcium pills. So this is a real life situation right down the road, okay, that taking these pills don't seem to do much good. Now, all right, so up to now you may say, I'm taking this particular natural product, it's 100% natural, it should be safe, right? Even if it's not beneficial, Dr. Lin? Okay. So I'm going to give you 4 reasons why you have to be careful even when something is supposed to be 100% natural. Okay? First example is you should take dietary supplements as drugs. They are not a freebie like food, okay? Number 1, use with same caution as with drugs. Example is red yeast rice, 红曲米. Well, Chinese people cook big fat, pork butt, pork, legs with 红曲米, okay, for flavor and for the color. But people wonder, maybe, the red yeast rice could actually cut the fat, okay? So there was a randomized controlled trial done, okay, on red yeast rice, and you know what? It was very effective in lowering LDL, raising HDL, lowering total cholesterol. Surprise, okay? No, the surprise is people found that red yeast rice has a chemical that's identical to statin drug, okay? So it's not surprising that it works very well because it's a natural source of statin. Statin like Lipitor, Zocor, okay, those are statin drugs, and red yeast rice has this chemical in there. That's why it works very, very well. Well, as we know, statin drugs, when you take statin drugs, you have to have a blood test every 4 months because it's potentially damaging to your liver. You have to have a liver function test every 4 months. So if you're eating red yeast rice instead of Lipitor, you better have a blood test every 4 months, right? If you're on Lipitor, you're supposed to stay away from grapefruit because there's interaction there with the chemical in grapefruit. If you take red yeast rice, you better take the same precaution. So we're not saying taking red yeast rice is good or bad. but it's no worse than taking Lipitor. Okay, maybe a little bit cheaper. So, all right, number 2. Misuse of a dietary supplement could lead to serious side effects. Example here is ephedra, ma huang. You can go back almost 3,000-4,000 years and find evidence that ma huang was used as a herbal medicine for treatment of asthma. Very effectively. Now we know why. Because it contains ephedrine, the chemical ephedrine. Ephedrine is an amphetamine-like compound that's chemically synthesized and regulated as a drug by the FDA. Okay? Well, what's wrong with that? So it would be kind of like taking red yeast rice for high cholesterol. So use it for ma huang for asthma. Well, good old Americans started using it for weight loss. Okay? They started using it for enhancement of athletic performance because it's amphetamine. Okay? And it's not regulated. You can just go to, or you used to be able to go to, GNC and buy a ton of this stuff. Okay? Oh, okay. So there are serious side effects reported, but the FDA did not take action until in 2003, a famous pitcher from the Baltimore Orioles team, okay, he found that he could throw the ball, faster and harder when he takes this stuff. And unfortunately for him,